problem is with this game you're seeing on the screen is that this game cost about $500 million to make. Now, this game cost $60 at launch. Like many new games, that's nothing new. This game made its money back. This game followed up with numerous two expansions costing $20 each. Now, the game itself launched with, in my opinion, kind of lackluster content. I'm not here to rag on Destiny and whatnot, and I guess this is kind of a follow-up too, partly to my Is It Worth It review. Destiny's been out for a freaking year now. That's a long time for a game to be out, and that's a pretty long time for developers to add anything extra they want to it to sort of give the game any sort of ground to stand on. Now, what is this video about? Well, if you've been following the news, and I have been, and surely enough, a lot of you have been if you asked me to talk about this topic a lot, and I've been asked to talk about this one topic a lot, and I've looked into it, and my god, is it a pretty shocking topic. Now, one of Bungie's employees actually was doing an interview, and I believe it was with Eurogamer. The interviews spread all over the place, but I think it's with Eurogamer, and they were talking about the new DLC with this game. And now, before I begin here, Destiny is a game that is known to have a little issue with pricing, alright? The game comes out $60, doesn't have a lot of content to it, in my opinion. I mean, what is there, and let me be fair here. Alright, let me be fair with all of you. Destiny is a very pretty looking game. Destiny is a game that has a rich world with a lot of lore that you're kind of locked down to reading on the internet. Through grimoire cards, which I don't understand the fucking point of that. I mean, if you're gonna have lore in such a game where the whole point is to explore the area, giving you lore options like that makes no fucking sense. More often than not, when you go into the game, there's only like a couple of cutscenes, and even then, they don't want to tell you the lore. They wish they could tell you, but they won't. And that's freaking embarrassing when you hear that in a start. Now, after Destiny came out, a lot of people got hooked into its grindy nature, and it has grindy nature. You know, if you play games like Diablo, and Borderlands, I guess, I can understand the grinding nature there, and I don't personally agree with it. Sorry, it's, wow, my stomach is really weird. I guess I'm talking about Destiny, that's the issue. Games like Borderlands, to me, and games like Diablo, have a lot of content and lore, and there's a lot of shit to get on those games. When I played Destiny, there really wasn't a whole lot to get, so I got bored of it, like many other players, in about a month or two. Now, yeah, there are raids to do, there's many things to do, but when the core gameplay is basically go from point A to point B, shoot a bunch of people, and whenever you get to do something else, like hack things, or, you know, open doors, you're not even doing it yourself, it's your fucking ghost buddy doing it. You literally hold square and you hold out the whole time. And with a game where even the servers are a little glitchy here and there, like there's so many times where I'm playing through strikes and whatnot, and the fucking game dies out, and I lose all the progress in there. It's not even like it's not even like League of Legends where I can hit X to log back in and instantly boot me back to that same party to continue the fight. No, it won't even do that. So it still lacks heavily in many areas where you think it should excel in. And with a game with a $500 million budget, remember, that's $300 million than Grand Theft Auto 5. And that's 400 million plus more, I think 400 million-ish more than The Witcher 3. That's a very large amount to make a game. And with a game that literally has less content, I feel, I mean, you can burn through the story in a couple hours, people, than, say, Borderlands or Diablo or Witcher or GTA 5. It's kind of shocking for them to even ask $60 or even spend $500 million, where I guarantee you half of that money probably went to like marketing or something. But regardless, it's not about Destiny itself, it's about the DLC. So what's coming out is the Taken King. Now, the Taken King is an expansion with, you know, multiplayer maps, a new hub, not a hub world, but like an actual planet, I guess, or an area where you can go out and, you know, combat in or do the patrolling and whatnot in. And besides the $20 that you have in regular expansions, right, if you buy them, you know, each, like the two expansions that came out, this one costs $40 to get. Now, I don't know about you, but I can get games in a $40 budget. I picked up Fallout 3 for $20. I picked up Fallout 3 and Mass Effect 2 for fucking $40 on the PlayStation. And you know what? Those games have more content. Those games last longer than the Destiny expansion pack. Now, before we go into this, I'm not here to make the argument, you know, Mutahar, people who play Destiny, it's valuable for them, or, you know, or one of the arguments that I just kind of get go along the lines of, you don't have to buy it. You know, you're not forced to buy it. No, let me tell you the issue over here. The fact that a company can come out and put a $40 expansion on a game that doesn't deserve $40 to begin with, and decide to sell that off and be all proud about it and expect people that are hooked onto this game to enjoy it, is very insulting. And not only that, if you happen to own the game, they have these emotes, right? The dancing moves, I guess, or whatever, right? And the way to get the special ones is to get the collector's edition. Now, this collector's edition on the PS4 page, at least in Canada, is priced at around $79.99. Now, I believe that's changed, but last time I checked, for me at least, it was priced there. And that was about the collector's edition, right? So what it does is, if you don't have Destiny the game, right? You, with that $79 purchase, you get Destiny, you get the 2 expansions, and the Taken King, and plus the emotes. And that's all fine and dandy for new players. But for people who already owned the game and its expansions, diehard players we're talking here, would actually have to pay $30 extra to get those new dancing emotes if they're so hardcore for it. And they have some, you know, XP bonuses and whatnot tossed in there either. Bottom line is, if you were a loyal purchaser, then you'd have to pay fucking extra for Destiny. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is where I say it's insulting. You know, there was a point where, even in the Eurogamer article that I talked about in the beginning, the Bungie member, and hold on, here's his name, Luke Smith. Luke Smith works at Bungie. Luke Smith said, if I fired up a video right now and showed you the emotes, you would throw money at the screen. My god, that is probably one of the most pretentious fucking things I have ever heard in my life. And that makes me pissed off saying that. Look, I'm gonna be very honest here. You can like Destiny, you cannot like Destiny. I've always said it is your opinion. Everyone has their own opinions. I'm not saying Destiny is a bad game. I'm not saying Destiny is a good game. Yes, I have my problems with it. Yes, I stated it. Yeah, okay, you know what? I'm gonna be honest here. I don't think Destiny is a good game. I don't think it's a game that should be costing even $40. I don't think it's a game that warrants that price. I think there's many other games you can get that give you more bang for your buck than Destiny will ever conceive and ever deliver to gamers. But at that statement, I can always say that you can play it if you choose. There should be no one telling you not to play a certain game just because they say so. Play it if you want to. Don't play it if you don't. But one thing I'm going to tell you, this over-pretentiousness of fucking Bungie or I don't care who it is, Activision or Bungie, they're both guilty of the same fucking thing. Bungie's big enough to fucking talk against Activision if they choose to. They can, alright? But they choose not to because, hey, it's raking in money. I'm going to be honest with you, this pretentiousness can't really be, like, stood for. If these people can defend it so blatantly, without any kind of conscience to what they're doing, to the respect of their audience, don't buy the DLC. Don't get Taken King. I think at this point, and I've always said this since my first DLC rant, this shit needs to stop. It's gotten out of control, and it's gotten out of control to a pretty bad degree. This DLC isn't worth $40. And you know, some people will tell me, Mutahar, there's World of Warcraft DLC that'll cost that much. Here's the difference. World of Warcraft DLC is different in a way. Because not only does it add a major new content, and not just a little place for you to explore, it adds new gameplay features, changes parts of the main game, adds much more new weapons, items, and whatnot that you could fucking seek for, even adds new races. None of these expansion packs, none of these DLCs added new classes that I've noticed, and I've had both expansions. I didn't notice an addition to classes. Yeah, they gave an extra character slot. Whoop-de-fucking-do. Congratulations. Destiny contains the same repetitive missions that I've personally experienced over and over and over again. And any friends that I had playing it will not play it again, simply because they don't enjoy the game. I don't enjoy it. We play other games. I can play Diablo. Yeah, there are some grindy sections in that game, but the gameplay is diverse enough to allow different experiences every time you go into it. Destiny doesn't fucking do that. In fact, what Destiny does is it gives you few items here and there. Sometimes they don't even give you items at all. There's such a random number generator feel to it. In fact, that's all it is, where the weapons don't even freaking spawn, you know, after... Here's a prime example. Sorry. Let me give you an example. When I play an online match, PvP, and I do fucking balls to the wall amazing on my team, and some, you know, person who doesn't do shit, maybe fucking joins in at the end of the game, gets an item and I don't. Yeah, that's a fucking piss off. That doesn't make me want to play the game again. I feel like if I did something like that, I shouldn't get a legend. I shouldn't get the best item, but I should at least be somewhat rewarded. What do I get? Jack shit. And you know what? That's the gameplay aside. This DLC can't really be supported. It's not adding anything significant. And for them to take dance emotes, price them at $30, price gouge loyal consumers who bought the expansions, alright? They bought the expansion pass. They've been playing Destiny. They've trudged through it. Through all the bad, through all the good. They've been there since day one. And for them to get price gouged, literally double the amount of the fucking... almost double the amount of money they'd be paying standalone for the content just for new emotes. And you're probably saying, Mutahar, they don't need the new emotes. They don't need the XP bonuses or whatnot. It's not that they don't need it. But for them to take trivial shit like that, shit that, you know, to people that play games for a long time, let me tell you the psychology here. They want it, alright? And you know what? In a way, they're entitled to it for sticking with the company for that long, for that fucking loyalty. And for them to get fucking shit on, and then have a defense like this, where if you saw a bunch of dancing emotes, you'd throw money on screen. Let me tell you right now, Luke Smith, I don't care how good that motherfucker dances on my screen. I don't care if you Dance Dance Revolution the shit out of your game. I don't care how great it is. I don't care if you motion capture that bitch. I'm not throwing money on my screen for dance emotes, motherfucker. Alright? You know what I'm throwing money on my screen for? Good fucking games. That's what I'm throwing my money at. Alright? I throw my money at shit like The Witcher 3, Wild Hunt. A game that I got for $20 more than your expansion pass. And you want to know something, Luke Smith? Witcher 3 will be something that Destiny will never be. A game with hundreds upon hundreds upon hundreds of hours of meaningful content. A game that didn't have an astronomical budget. A game that looks prettier than your game. A game that actually treats gamers right, alright? And I'm not gonna fucking sit here with the soapbox of Witcher. Let me tell you another game that does it. Grand Theft Auto 5. You know what Grand Theft Auto 5 does? It has a better online experience than you. Yeah, there's a lot of shit about GTA Online, but when it works, it works. And my buddies had a hell of a lot more of a better experience on that. And you wanna know something? That game costs less than yours to make. Much less than yours to make. But it has actual heart and soul put into it. And Rockstar doesn't fucking gouge our eyes out with DLC. Yeah, they have shark cards, and yeah, they have fucking microtransactions too, don't get me wrong. But at least they give DLC, cars, and whatnot to their gamers every fucking month. And they're not the only people. There's Nintendo, and I give a lot of shit to Nintendo. But when they release a game, man, alright, like fucking Smash and whatnot, Mario Kart, those are full-featured games. You know? Those games are worth their price. I may not get the DLC for them, you don't even need it. But those games are something your games won't be. Actual fucking games. You look at Borderlands. Game costs much less than yours to make. But it's an actual freaking game. Let me tell you that. It's far more enjoyable than Destiny. And you know, I understand enjoying stuff is subjective. Well, let me tell you, from a raw content output, if I can beat those games, if I can beat Destiny in like 4 hours, those games took me 15 to 20 to 30 to 40 to 100 hours to complete. And you know what? I actually enjoyed my 100 hours because they were fucking unique and different. And you know what? I didn't have to pay $40 a pop for expansion passes. Even when the Borderlands expansions came out, they were well priced. And you know what? They gave a fuck ton of good content out there too. You know, when Fallout comes out with Fallout does expansions right. You know, fucking Bethesda does them just fine. When they come out with expansions, they're worth their $20 asking price. Destiny the Taken King is not. And you know what? This is a simple price grab. And I'm sorry if I sound a little pissy or I sound, you know, very against Destiny right now. This thing has been running on for months now. And slowly and surely people are realizing it. And I'm going to let you realize this from now on in your own perspectives. There are better games you can get than this right now. Let me tell you. And for developers to come out and say that they expect their loyal fan base to just see a bunch of fucking dancing pixels and throw money at the screen and insult them in that manner shouldn't be tolerated. But I'm not the one with the wallet here. I'm already not going to buy it. But I want to ask all of you in the comments below, how many of you, after hearing this information, what are your thoughts on the whole Destiny DLC? Do you think it's still worth the $40? Because let me tell you, if it's worth it to you, if you think you're going to get your time out of it, go buy it. Enjoy it. Don't let my decision change yours. This is just what the situation is. If you feel that the Taken King is for you, or if you're just getting into the whole Destiny thing and you're buying the whole Taken King expansion with the game, let me know. But tell me what you feel about not just DLC, but this Destiny $40 expansion pass. You know, I understand there's a substantial amount of content being added in, but you figure out and you do the math, it's still not worth fucking 2/3 of the base game's asking price, if you ask me. But that's one ordinary gamer's opinion, and that's what some ordinary gamers are. We're all Team Ordinary, we're all some ordinary gamers. We all have different opinions, but we all game together and we all rock on and whatnot. So let me know, community, what do you think about the whole Destiny DLC, and you know, what is your personal opinion on it? Give us your rant time in the comments below. This is me, Mutahar, and if you like what you saw, please like, comment, and subscribe. This is me, Mutahar, and I gotta take my pills, I'm sorry.